Jets, Jets. What is going on, Jet fans? And welcome back to another episode of The Jets Ward. I am your host, Ryan Ward, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys tonight. I have a fun one for you guys, but first, if you have been here before, welcome back. I always love having you guys come back and hang out with me in The Jets Ward. If you are new here, welcome. I always love having new people. Whether you are a Jets fan or a fan of another team, you are always welcome here. No matter what, I always love hearing from you guys. This is a great place to be. We have a great community here. It is all positivity and all good vibes, which I love. Now, getting into the fun part of the night, getting into what I want to talk to you guys about. Last night, we had the NFL schedule released for our favorite NFL teams. Now, a lot of teams were gifted really good schedules. Some don't have to travel very far. Some are playing a very easy schedule. And some didn't get so lucky. Some teams, you could say the Eagles, for example, they were the Super Bowl champs, but their schedule is a beast. And we do this for the draft. Who won, lost the draft? Who won and lost free agency? Who won and lost all these different things? I want to do a video on who I think won the schedule release. And I'm going to go through some teams and talk about why I think they won, why I think they lost. And I think it's going to be a fun one. Now, I want to start out. This first one might be a little biased. I'll give records of how I think the teams are going to do too. And I'll give my reasonings as well. And I know I'm a Jets fan, as you can see from my flag in the back. I might be a little biased here, but the first winner of the NFL draft release, I believe, is my New York Jets. And the reasoning for that is we open up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We don't know who their quarterback is. Is Aaron Rodgers ever going to sign? There's been rumors floating around all offseason. Is Mason Rudolph going to start for them? Now, a lot of Steelers fans will say, don't count Mason Rudolph out. He has had a winning record with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But then he went to Tennessee and it wasn't great. He came in at some points and played pretty well. But as a starter the full year, I don't think so. Will Howard, who they drafted, I like Will Howard, but I think he needs to sit a year. And then they have Skylar Thompson, who has started a playoff game when he was with Miami. But again, not a great choice at quarterback. So Pittsburgh is a great way for the New York Jets to start off. They have a great defense. They just traded away George Pickens. So DK Metcalf is really their offense. They lost Najee Harris. Again, they have a great defense, but that offense is something to be desired. You really just have to watch out for DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin, and Pat Freiermuth, which this new regime focused on defense. We have Steve Wilkes as our defensive coordinator and AG as our head coach. This defense is going to be playing a lot more disciplined and better than they did last year. All right. We have a lot of talent on this Jets team, which I don't think a lot of people are considering. We have some big name players, and this coach, AG, seems like to unite all of them. And we have Justin Fields as our starter, so this could be a revenge game for him. He got benched by the Steelers last year, and he started off the season 4-2. I have a lot of faith in Fields. I think the Jets coaching staff is going to put him in the right position to succeed here, and I think he can have a breakout year. So honestly, looking at the Jets schedule, the beginning of it is pretty tough, honestly. The beginning of it is pretty tough. I'm not going to lie to you. We have the Steelers, which winnable game. Buffalo, tough. They got better in the draft. They got better in the offseason. And honestly, could be a very, very tough game, but very winnable. It's in New York. Then we go to Tampa. Tampa Bay was a playoff team last year. Very good team. Baker Mayfield is a very good quarterback. Very underrated in my opinion still. Then Miami, very winnable game on Monday night. Dallas, I think, is a very winnable game. I know they got better on defense. They got better on offense, but can Dak stay healthy? He's coming back from a big injury. The Broncos, playoff team last year. They are beatable, though. The Jets played them tough. Granted, it was a rainy day, but they're playing in London. It's an early game. Travel is going to be tough for both teams. It's a winnable game. Panthers got better, but it's still a very winnable game. Bengals, their offense is dynamic, but that defense is still something to be desired. It's a very winnable game. Browns, winnable game. Who's going to be their quarterback? We don't know yet. Patriots, tough team. Ravens, very tough as well. Falcons, winnable game. Dolphins, again, winnable games. I don't think the Dolphins are going to be as good as a lot of people think they are. Okay? So all of these games, and granted, the Jets have week 9 as the bye week, which I like a later bye week. The second half of their schedule is not that hard. Jacksonville, the Saints, who are going to be not great this year. Patriots, we don't know what they are yet. Bills, going to be tough. But playing in the last game of the season, are they going to be resting their starters because they're already going to have a clinched playoff spot? We don't know. But the Jets have a very, very winnable schedule. And honestly, they have a lot of talent too. I could see them winning at most 10 games. Now, the minimum, if things go wrong, I can see them winning 6, which a lot of people have projected. But in all honesty, with the talent the Jets have and how the roster is breaking down, I wouldn't be shocked if the Jets win 10 games and are pushing for a playoff spot. Honestly, I think the Jets really won in this schedule. I think they came out really good, especially with the light load in the second half where we can go on a run. Then we got our first losers, the New York Giants. Man, they got reamed by the schedule makers, and it's a rough first go. They have the Commanders, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Chargers. Then they get the Saints, who is a very winnable game. But then the Eagles, the Broncos, the Eagles again, Niners, who are going to be tough this year. They're always tough. Then the Bears, much better this year. The Packers, playoff team last year. Lions, playoff team last year. Patriots, much better. Commanders again. Vikings, Raiders, Cowboys. I think they could split with the Cowboys. I think they could split with the Commanders. The Eagles are going to be tough, but I think they could. But man, at most I could see the Giants winning 5 games, but I wouldn't be shocked if they won 2. Russell Wilson's their starting quarterback, it seems, as of now. They might trade Jameis Winston depending on how Jackson's Dart develops, because they do have a packed quarterback room over there, or they could release Jameis. I think more like a trade, like what the Jets did when they signed Teddy Bridgewater and then traded him to the Saints because we had Sam Darnold that we drafted. So Giants really got roughed up by this schedule. It is a tough one. They are going to be in for a rugged couple of weeks in a row too. And their bye week, they don't have their bye week till later in the year, week 14, which is great. You always love to have a late bye week, but man, they go through a gauntlet all the way up through there. And I wouldn't be shocked if they don't win a game up to that point. The Saints, maybe. 49ers, maybe they might catch them. But if they're healthy, they're going to be good. Bears, maybe. But Packers, Lions, Patriots, Commanders twice. Or Commanders, Eagles twice. Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs. It's going to be a rough one for the Giants. I think at most they can win 5 games. And that's being generous. But even Giants fans that I talked to, friends of mine, they were not happy with the schedule. And they knew it was going to be tough because of the people that they play. But how it's laid out, it is a rough one. So I think the Giants were losers when it came to the schedule release. Leading into the next one, though, the winners, Cardinals. Cardinals' schedule, they play the Saints twice. They play Carolina twice. They're not going to be that tough at teams. Or no, they don't. They don't play the Saints twice or the Panthers twice. They play the Niners twice. They play the Seahawks twice. And they play the Rams twice. But they start off with the Saints. Winnable game. Carolina. Winnable game. 49ers. They play the Niners tough. Cardinals got better in the offseason, especially on defense. I definitely think they're going to split with the Niners. Seahawks, I think they're going to split with them too. Tennessee, winnable game. Colts, winnable game. Packers is going to be tough, but if things go right, they could beat them, but I do think they end up losing there. They have their bye week 8, which is not great, but not awful either. Then they have Dallas, very winnable game. Seahawks, Niners, Jacksonville, winnable game. Bucks, tough one. Rams, tough one. Texans, tough. Falcons, winnable game. Bengals, they could win against them. And the Rams again, I think they might split with them. I could definitely see the Cardinals going 9-8 and fighting for a playoff spot. Definitely. Their division's not as tough as it used to be. Sam Darnold's the starting quarterback for the Seahawks, but you don't know. Was last year a revelation for him? Was it just a one and done? for him? We don't know. The Niners, they lost a lot of good pieces. They still have one of the best coaches in football in Brock Purdy, who's a solid quarterback, but they did lose a lot of pieces. Rams, they still got Stafford. They still got McVay. They got Devontae Adams. They got Puka Nacua. They got all these weapons, and their defense is solid as well. So that's going to be tough for them. But other than that, Cardinals have a really nice schedule. So, and it's not too unbalanced either. They could go on a stretch in the beginning. They can go on a stretch in the end when it really matters as well. There are some tough games that they're going to play, but very, very nice schedule for them. I think they were winners of the schedule release as well. And I have them going 9-8. I think that's fair for them based on what their schedule is. Losers, though, Dallas Cowboys. You start out with the Eagles. Then you play another division game against the Giants. Not as tough, but it is a division game. Bears, much better this year. You don't know how they're going to do. Packers, really tough. The Jets, I think, are going to be better than people think. I honestly think the Jets are going to play them really tough. Panthers, I think they beat them. Commanders, I think they might end up splitting with them. Broncos, the Cardinals, Raiders, winnable game. Eagles, really tough. Chiefs, Lions, Vikings, Chargers, Commanders, and end the season with the Giants. They have their bye week 10, which is nice, but they go on a gauntlet at the end of the season. It's not the beginning of their schedule is okay, not the best, but not the roughest. The end of the schedule is a gauntlet. They go through a ton of playoff teams from last year, so it's going to be tough. They got better on offense, adding George Pickens. They got Javonte Williams and another running back as well to build up that running back room. I still think they could use another piece there. They got Caleb Ferguson as their starting tight end. They got CD still. If Dak comes back healthy, could be good for them. But there's a lot of what ifs. They had a lot of injuries on the defense last year. Could they be better on defense? I hope. Maybe. I think see them going 7-10, and missing out on the playoffs again. I don't think they're going to overtake the Commanders. I don't think they're going to overtake the Eagles either. So honestly, really rough for the Dallas Cowboys, who had a rough season last year. Brand new head coach. We don't know how Schottenheimer is going to do either. They got Eberflus as a defensive coordinator, who was bad as bad as a head coach, solid as a defensive coordinator. So it's up in the air to see how Dallas is going to do. So I think 7-10, but they could come out on a tear and be a much better team. We don't know. So continuing on. We got the next winners, the 49ers, just like the Cardinals. Very winnable schedule. They start out with the Broncos, or they start out with the Seahawks. Division game, tough. Then they play the Saints, winnable game. Cardinals, division game, tough. Jaguars, winnable game. Rams, division game, tough. Buccaneers, tough. Falcons, winnable game. Texans, you never know which Texans team you're going to get. Giants, winnable game. Rams, they could split it with them. Eagles, they could split it. Or Cardinals, they could split it. Panthers, winnable game. Browns, winnable game. They get their bye week late in the season. Tennessee, winnable game. Colts, winnable game. Bears, winnable game. Seahawks, they could split. I could definitely see the Niners going 9-8 and fighting for a playoff spot as well. They got Purdy. They got Fred Warner still. They traded Debo away. Brandon Ayuk is still there, but they're contemplating trading him. Juwan Jennings is a solid, very underrated receiver. They got Ricky Pearsall. They got all these weapons. They got Kittle still. That defense is no slouch either. They got Robert Saleh back as their defensive coordinator where he thrived. This 49ers should definitely be a comeback to form, especially recovering from all these injuries that they dealt with last year. So they're a team to watch out for too. They can make a big bounce back. So 9-8, I see them going. Then we get into the next one, another loser that I think. And I have two things. The Pittsburgh Steelers, man, they got a rough schedule. They start out with the New York Jets. I think it's going to be rough. Even with Aaron Rodgers there, I think it's going to be a rough one. Then they play the Seahawks, tough team. Patriots, going to be much better this year. Vikings, playoff team. We don't know what McCarthy is, but that coaching staff is very confident in McCarthy. So we'll see. Then they get their bye week 5. I hate early bye weeks. I really do. Because then it's just gauntlet. Game in, game out. All the way to the end. Early bye weeks suck, in my opinion. But then they get the Browns, division game. The Browns always play them tough. Bengals, division game. I think the Bengals are going to be much better this year. Packers, playoff team. Then they get the Colts. Colts beat them last year. So Steelers might want revenge, but that one's a winnable game. Chargers, tough team to play. Bengals again. Then the Bears, who are much better. Bills, playoff team. Ravens, playoff team. Dolphins, don't know what Dolphins you're going to get. Dolphins team you're going to get there. Then you get the Lions, playoff team. Browns again. And then they end the season with the Ravens. It's a gauntlet at the end. So I think Steelers, and if you listen to some of the ESPN analysts, there were some of them that were saying that the Steelers could start off 0-6 because of their quarterback room. Their defense is great, but their offense, other than DK Metcalf, who are you afraid of? Freiermuth? I like Freiermuth, but I don't see him carrying that offense. They don't have Najee Harris anymore. They have Warren, but he's known to get hurt. Who do they got? Their offensive line isn't great either. All right? Their defense can't always be the one that saves them. And Tomlin, great coach, but you got to have a quarterback to be able to win. Even with Rodgers, like the record without Rodgers, I have them going 5-12. Honestly, I see it being a really rough season for them. The first losing season of the Mike Tomlin tenure. With Rodgers, I still see them having a losing season, going 7-10. Honestly, I think it's going to be a rough one for the Steelers. This could be their rebuild year, which I don't think is a bad thing, because under Mike Tomlin they always win. They're always tough. They're always ready to go, but that defense cannot always be the ones to hold that team up. They're going to break. Minkah Fitzpatrick is on the last year of his deal, and he didn't play great last year. You got young stud Joey Porter Jr. as your cornerback, but he's beatable. You have Calvin Austin as a solid receiver, but unproven. You have all these pieces that are unproven. The defense is getting older. Watts, consistently injured. Hayward, much older. Can he still give you a lot of it? There's a lot of players that the defense is going to be tough, but it's an older defense as well, and an injury-riddled defense. So Pittsburgh, I think, is going to take a major step back this year, honestly. And that's all I have for you guys when it comes to the schedules. That is my opinions and my record predictions for these teams. Honestly, let me know what you guys think. I know a flag fell behind me before, but I didn't want to cut it out because I was on a roll there with these teams. Let me know what you guys think of my predictions. Do you think they are fair? Do you think they are way off? If you're a fan of one of these teams that I mentioned, let me know what you think. You could say I'm completely crazy. If you are a Giants fan and think, you know what? Giants can win more games than what I predicted, let me know. I love hearing from you guys, and I'm always willing to comment back. I take pride in responding to comments. I love getting them from you guys. Thank you so much for everything you guys do for me. This channel is so much fun, and I hope you guys are enjoying the ride with me. But again, guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me in the JETS Jets Ward. Have a wonderful rest of your night.